Let's turn your Smith grinds from this to this. What's up? What's going on? Today we are going to be going over some advanced tips to make your grinds and flip tricks look a little bit more realistic. So let's just jump right into it and start off with some grind tips. Alright, so first off, let's go through some gameplay settings here. I personally use the experience control preset, but you can really use whatever you want. Next up is I use flick it sensitivity at 0 just to make it a little bit easier to low pop everything. If you use 100 sensitivity, you're going to have to flick way slower to get the same low pop. And of course, make sure you've got minimum pop height set to 0. And lastly, we are going to set our grind assist amount to 5 because we do not want any magnetic looking grinds. You can go down to a 0 grind assist, but there are some bugs with it, so I like to set mine to 5. Alright, so first up I'm going to show you how to pinch your grinds, which is going to make your Smiths, Feebles, and crooked grinds look way more realistic. So the way that you do this is once you're locked into a grind, you use the left stick, push forward and a little to the left or the little to the right to pinch your grind in that direction. So let's demonstrate with a crooked grind here. Lock in, push forward to the left, push forward to the right, and that will actually lean your weight either way. So you use the left stick, push forward and to the left, or push it forward to the right to lean that way. So this is a regular crooked grind without any input at all, just kind of straight in the middle there with your weight. And this is what it looks like when you actually pinch your crooked grind. So now let's take that same thing and apply it to Smiths and Feebles. So this is what a regular Smith looks like. Not too bad, not really pinched though. So we're going to do the same thing but use the left stick to pinch it right. Just like that, right? Looks way better. And you can see that looks way more realistic and way more pinched. But this is just a regular Smith. And this is an actual pinched one. Alright, so next up is actually bumping out of grinds instead of popping out. There's actually 2 ways to bump out of the grinds. The first being just holding the left stick left or right in the grind, and the second just being pressing B while in a grind. So let's try bumping out that pinched Smith grind. So same thing as before, but you use the left stick from the right and you actually bump it to the left instead. And you'll see that he does a little baby ollie out of that to the left. Now let's do the same thing, but we'll press B instead. Hit that, and there's no baby pop. So we pinch that Smith, but no baby pop, he just shifts it off the rail. Alright, so last tip for realistic grinds is bending down the board before you pop out. And the way that you do this is by holding down the right stick in the grind, and then letting it go before popping out. So let's demonstrate with a 5-0 kickflip out. We pop in, hold that right stick down, and kickflip out to the right there. And you'll see that he pops without bending down the board, just to the right. So now let's bend down before kickflipping out. We ollie, hold down, release, and kickflip to the right there. And you'll see that he bends down a little bit before popping out, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. Alright, so now let's move on to some tips to make your flip tricks look a little bit more realistic. First thing you should learn is how to wind up before popping. So you start by holding both sticks down, but then you shift the left stick to whatever side that you want to flip to. So let's try a backside flip here. We start with both sticks down, we shift the left stick to the left, and then we do the kickflip and release both sticks. And you can see this just looks a little bit more realistic for sure. You can float them a little bit like that as well to make them look a little bit better as well. Now if you want to keep spinning, you actually don't release that left stick. So same deal, we hold both sticks down, shift the left stick to the left here, and then hold that left stick still, so you can do 360s much easier. And it's much easier to do 360s on flat now. And same deal if you want to pop front side. Both sticks down, left stick to the right, and release. And you can hold that left stick right as well too if you want to do front side 360s. Just like that. And you can actually take this one step further by releasing the left stick before you pop there, just to get his shoulders rotating in that direction. So same thing here, we wind up, then release that left stick, and then let the shoulders rotate. And that takes it one more step to making it more realistic. Alright, so next up I'm going to show you how to flare out your front or back foot in tricks. It does suck that there is no manual catch in this game, but there is a slight workaround by doing an ollie north directly after a flip trick. So all you gotta do is press the ollie north button directly after the flip trick. Right there, and release it. So yeah, this is how it looks like. Flip that, flare that front foot out, and bring it back onto the board. And you can do the same with nollie flips by flaring out that back foot. Flip, and bring it back on, just like that. You flip, flare out that back foot, and then bring it back on as well, just to make it look a little bit better. Okay, so the last tip that I want to give you here is turning on hold fakie stance in the settings. This is a great addition to the Skate series because this was never available in the previous games. So with this setting on, you can actually land in the switch position and keep riding switch until you tap that push button. In all the previous games, you would actually have to hold it down to keep yourself in that switch position, and it just looked very wonky. The one thing you do have to remember is that you're still going to hold down with the right stick to actually fakie pop, and you're going to hold up on it to switch pop. And I personally like this control setup because if you're doing a fakie 360 flip or a regular 360 flip, it's the exact same foot movement. It just depends on if you're going forward or backward. Alright, so I've got one final bonus tip here to make everything look a little bit more realistic, and that is to start off your board. They've actually updated the animation for when you jump on your board, so make sure you use that before starting any trick or line. So let's put together a little line that features all the tips that I've given in this video. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. If you've got any really good tips, definitely let me know down in the comments. And if you want to support the channel, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers right now, so definitely consider subscribing and liking if you're into that. But in the meantime, thanks again for joining me on this one, and we'll catch you in the next episode.